Dueling raisins.
Dueling raisins. We have our pouliche from yesterday that we set up. Nice and ripe.
Do you know, dueling raisin, I was wondering where this originated from, but now I get it. He's using two kind of raisins. He's using the all natural raisins and the golden raisins, so they're dueling.
It's going to look beautiful, isn't it?
I think so.
In the cut. We can add our dry ingredients, our flour, sugar, salt, fresh yeast.
What is the preference? Compressed yeast, fresh yeast, or dried yeast?
Well, you can really use anything. I like to use fresh yeast or instant yeast. And then if I have a lot of sugar in a formula, I might use osmotolerant yeast. But they'll all work. They'll all work. And the butter is at room temperature. I didn't add all of my milk just in case I need to adjust this. This dough is going to mix 4 minutes in first speed and 8 minutes in second speed. We controlled the temperature of the milk so the dough will come off at 76 degrees. And we'll add the raisins after the dough's been nicely developed. We'll check to make sure that we're at an improved mix. Then we'll add our raisins just until they're distributed before we take them off the mixer.
While I'm waiting for the dough to develop, I'm just going to take a paring knife, cut off the ends of the vanilla bean, straighten out the vanilla bean as much as I can, and gently cut the vanilla bean in half. You know, Melina, did you know that the vanilla bean is part of the orchid family?
I did.
You know, that's why they're so expensive, because they have to be hand pollinated. Now, what can we do with vanilla bean to get the most use out of it once we scraped out the inner pods?
I like to store the pods in sugar so that it perfumes that sugar. You can also use it as an infusing component.
So when we make custards, would you put the vanilla pods into the milk?
Absolutely. Also, you can take a bottle of vodka, and stuff all of your pods in there, make your own extract, put it away for 6 months.
Yeah, it takes a while, but you want to get the most out of your vanilla bean due to the fact that they're so expensive. And all we're going to use in our formula is the vanilla.
The seeds?
The seeds. Okay, we got our natural raisins, we got our golden raisins, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine those two, as well as our lemon zest, and mix it so it helps with the distribution of these raisins throughout the dough, so I don't have to overmix my dough to achieve the same combination and distribution of these raisins.
So we've got good distribution of our ingredients at this point. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add in the vanilla bean. And then we'll develop the dough on second speed.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I get all my seeds in here.
You hear how the dough is slapping? Mm-hmm. That's always a good indication when I'm mixing intensively that the dough is properly developed. You hear it slapping around there. I like to window paint it before I add my raisins because, again, we're just going to add the raisins to distribute it. So I'll pull out a little piece of dough. It's got to be big enough that I can work with it evenly in all directions. I'm just below intensive mix, which is nice for a bread like this. We'll add the raisins. And we've got our zest in here too, don't we?
Yes, we did.
And we'll move it down to first speed because it doesn't need to develop any more heat or any more strength at this point. And we'll distribute these raisins in here. We want this to come off the machine at 76 degrees. That'll be the optimal temperature for a dough like this for developing flavor. Mm-hmm. And then we'll let this ferment for an hour and a half. This dough will not get any additional folds. We developed it a little bit more than our other doughs on the machine.
Okay, I slightly oil our container again. It's always helpful, it helps with releasing the dough after the fermentation time. And you like to give it a couple of folds on the table before you do this? Okay.
Thank you. This dough feels so nice from the milk and the eggs and the butter in there. Nice and soft, silky. We don't want to lose any of those raisins.
There you go. Oh yeah, beautiful.
You can see the vanilla bean in there. It's gonna be yummy.
It smells already amazing. I can't wait for it to be baked.